it is time for another episode of Getting Off Track. I've got my trusty sidekick with me today hanging out, so hopefully he'll be pretty chill through this episode, but it couldn't be more fitting. Our first episode, we talked to a mom with Diane Schatz. Our second episode, we chatted with Mandy Pittman, a wife of a racer. And today we're going to chat with somebody who is both of those, a wife and a mother of two. It is none other than Lori McCarl. She'll be cutting out some time with me today to chat all things wife, mom, racing, and even promoting related. So it's going to be really awesome to catch up with her. And maybe she can give me some tips for hitting the road with this little guy. But we'll be right back here with Getting Off Track with Ashley Stremme.
Perfection isn't easily achieved. It takes hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Through their commitment to excellence, Sage Fruit Company has been supplying customers with the best tree fruit in the Pacific Northwest for over 3 generations. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide consistent, high-quality apples and pears all year long. Look for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
All right, welcome back. Joining me now is Lori McCarl. Lori, first of all, let me start off with just saying congratulations on the most recent news, Terry being inducted into the Iowa Hall of Fame. Really exciting. I know Terry's the one who gets his name etched in the books, but honestly, we know that you were just as much a part of that as he is. So congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you.
But so let's dive right into it. Obviously, growing up, racing, following Terry around the country, being his right-hand lady, making things happen. And what was that like, obviously, even before, your boys started racing and even having the kids, what was it like going and racing with Terry?
Stressful. No, it was fun. It was fun. We've been everywhere. We've been all over the country. We've lived in California. We've raced everywhere, Australia, New Zealand. So we've got to travel a lot and see a lot of stuff. And it's been great. It's been fun.
So then you add Austin and Carson into the mix. And what was it like traveling with them growing up, watching them, watch dad race and kind of tug 2 kids around the pits and making that travel happen with 2 children?
Well, it was a lot of work when they were little. Actually, when they're really little, it's easy because you can just drag them around wherever you want. But they were always Terry's biggest fans, and they were always really, really, really into racing, and they wanted to go. So that was good. It got a little harder when they got in school and got in sports. So then we were back and forth a lot. We'd be on the road for 3 weeks, home for 3 weeks, and Terry would still be gone. So it would be a little bit more stressful then, but it was fun. Carson learned to walk in a motorhome, and, it was what we did. So we didn't know any different, really.
I want to have you elaborate on that a little bit, talking about the kids going through school and whatnot. I've talked to several different people, especially the Pittmans. I know at one point Darren was like, the kids are on the road all the time. I feel guilty because they're not getting, they're not in school. They're not with other kids. They're not getting to do sports. And we talked about how cool it was, though, that they were getting to actually see things in person that kids were only learning about in school. You talk about being on the road 3 weeks and then at home 3 weeks. How was that transition? What was it like for you guys?
It worked out. I mean, like I said, it's always, so it was normal for us. Especially Austin was really into sports. He played a lot of sports. So we would stay home. I would stay home a lot with him. Sometimes Carson would even go when he was little with Terry, and I would stay home and go to basketball games and stuff with Austin. I don't think they missed out on a whole lot of friends and normal school stuff, because in the summertime, that's when we would go back and forth. But during school, I stayed home with them most of the time so they could go to school and do normal kid stuff.
I love it. And that's where we're at this point. I get to drag him on to the racetrack, and hopefully he doesn't grow up too quickly and have to worry about all this school sports and stuff.
Quick. I think we had Austin his first race, he was 3 weeks old. And the only reason we waited that long is because I couldn't travel. And Carson was 10 days old, his first race. So they've
Love it.
lived it from day one.
And that was my thing. You know, we went to Eldora this week. It was his first outing to a racetrack. He was just over 2 weeks old. Same deal. You know, if you're going to start him, you might as well start him young. That way they get to know what's going on.
They sleep good with the race car noise.
It's so true. It's so true. So, Lori, as the kids grew up, obviously you knew that the racing bug was going to be in their blood as well. When they started racing, what was it like for you? Was it more intense than watching Terry race? Or was it the same?
No, it's way harder watching your kids race. Way different, way harder. I mean, you think about things you never thought about before. Every second of it's scary. You know, you want them to have a good result, but at the same time, all you're wanting to do is end. Just throw the checker flag. I don't care what happens. I just want this over. But that's how racing is, I think, all the time. When you're at the races, all you want it to do is be over because you want to know how it's going to end up and you're just anxious and nervous. And then as soon as the race is over, you can't wait to go to the next race. So it's just kind of a vicious cycle. Like you're always getting ready to go to a race. And as soon as you're at the races, you're wanting that race to be over. And then you get ready for the next one.
Right. Is that something that as they continue to get older, or has that changed, or is it still the same emotions from when they were younger that you still have even when they hit the track today?
Oh, I have more confidence in them now than I did when they were younger. So I'm not as bad, but I don't think that ever leaves. People ask me that all the time. Do you still get nervous watching the race? Well, of course I do. That never goes away. When you're a parent, you're nervous all the time anyway. You're worried about it all the time. So especially when they were little and you would strap them into fireproof clothes and a helmet and seat belts and then tell them to go as fast as they can. That just goes against all motherly instincts. You felt like, well, is that really the safest thing? But it's what they did. It's what they wanted to do.
I love it. And you've got to support that no matter what. You have to help them chase their dreams as well. So really, really awesome. Even if you are putting them in fireproof stuff and tell them to go really fast. I love it. And obviously the last couple of years, you've gained some daughter-in-laws now. What's it like having more balance to the McCarl family instead of it being all boys and you?
It did. It's nice. I love it. I love the girls. I call them my girls. I just feel like they've been here forever. I couldn't have picked two better wives for my boys. I love them both. They're great. They're big supporters. We're friends. It's all good. I talk to them every day.
And now they're living the life, obviously. How much do they look to you? Obviously, and we know they come from a racing background as well, but how much do they lean on you to help with Austin and Carson and extend their dreams and be a part of it, just like you did with Terry?
We talk a lot. They ask me a lot of questions. They have a lot of questions. They do I say a lot of welcome to my world to them when they're stressed out and they don't know what, they have questions about stuff. I'm like, oh, you'll be fine. You'll figure it out. It's all good. But they're really supportive. Like Peyton grew up racing, so this wasn't a big deal for her, really. It's just kind of, she just switched from going with her dad to going with her husband. So that's not a big deal. And Alyssa grew up in Knoxville and she was always a big race fan and she was at the races all the time. And she's been with Austin, oh my gosh, long time. I think they were in 8th grade or something. Oh, wow. So she knew what she was getting into too. So it was not a surprise for anybody. They're okay with it. They're good.
I love it. Well, and we have to obviously talk about the promoter side of things with you. The front row challenge you and Terry do at Oskaloosa. What is it that you do with that? I know Terry once shared that you are the queen of tickets and seating, and I can't imagine how much of a nightmare that can be at times. But what does it take from you on that side of things to make the front row challenge happen?
Well, I pretty much take care of everything that's on the grandstand side of the racetrack. He takes care of everything that has to do with the track, drivers, that kind of stuff. So I deal with the people and sponsors, and that's a lot because it starts now. It starts at the beginning of the year. My phone starts ringing in January, February, and I deal with that until the day of the race, which is this year is August 8th.
So get your tickets now. They are on sale. I love it. Is there anxiety that goes along with that until the show's over or once the day of the show comes? What is that emotion like?
Actually, it's just promoting is just as stressful as racing. It's just a little bit of different things. A lot of stuff you can't control. You can't control the weather, and that's the biggest thing. Promotion can't control the weather, so I start looking at weather like a month ahead of time. Terry refuses to look at the weather because he says it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. Prepare. So I'm always watching the weather. You want everything to go smooth and be safe, and you want everybody to leave happy. Everybody to be there that's happy. I want drivers to be happy. I want fans especially to be happy. So you get stressed out about that. Making sure that you have all the right people in the right places. You know, you need there's a lot of people to do a promotion. You need, other than just ticket sellers and ticket takers, you need security, you need people to park cars, you need all kinds of stuff, people to sell your merchandise, just, again, push trucks, ambulance. I mean, there's a million things.
Unreal. I never even thought about the promotional side of things, and I don't think I want to, but it's absolutely
just opening the gates.
right, no doubt about it. But awesome. I mean, Lori, we know what Terry's done. We've seen what the boys do. I appreciate you sharing the behind the scenes of what it takes to make the Oski Challenge happen. And I appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day today to chat with me. It's really cool to get other people's perspective on life and racing, especially when you have little ones involved.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you having me on. Thanks.
No problem. We appreciate it. Lori, have a good one, and we'll see you at the racetrack real soon.
Yep. See you later.
Bye.